Hello, welcome to the beginning of the future Shredder patch tier list. This video is going to go over the balance changes, predicting the balance that will occur, how it'll adjust the current tier list, and who will be top tier, mid tier, low tier in the future, as well as go over the current tier list. First, we're going to go over the current tier list. Then, we're going to go over the future tier list with in-game examples. We'll make a little advertisements. How do I exit this out? Nope, that's not how you exit an advertisement. Whatever, just keep it. Alright. So this view overview is going to go over focused on the hitstun of the characters and edgeguard ability. And why that matters in today's meta. This tier list is dated 12/25, by the way. It is 1/12 today, January 12th, 2022. The meta has not changed. We've been on the same patch for around a month. This tier list took about 4 days to make. That means 4 days of thought processes, reflecting, and re-reviewing on the next day to come up with the answers. Here we have SpongeBob S tier, SS tier, because he can juggle to KO. He can tech chase through nair neutral wins, or just down throw, into tech chase dare chains. And he can projectile bubble usage into winning neutral wins and winning the game through neutral. That's why he's above Aang, who only has one way to win, that is nair into tech chase combo, leading to a down air chain spike. He cannot juggle properly because his up air is bad, unlike SpongeBob's, and he has no projectile, so he cannot play a projectile game. So he's significantly worse than SpongeBob. PTM gets third because he can nair. His nair comes out frame 6 and lasts 11 frames. So he can simply nair to center stage whenever he's cornered. So he is never going to get exploded for his explodable recovery because he's never cornered. And he has the grab, drop shine, lick. Ren and Stimpy, you can simply down air light 90% of the cast to KO them at 30% through edge guarding. And he's likely to win neutral because his down light is so powerful. In addition, he has down throw into down smash out of grab. Korra has amazing combos with throw and with her down lights leading to grab, and she can tech chase via hitting with jab and mix that up with grab. Helga has a very fast projectile and very good neutral because of her down light on the ground, or down tilt. The projectile and down tilt work together to have extremely good horizontal coverage because she can control the stage completely, the horizontal space, by using her slingshot, and out of block use her down tilt, or even a neutral use her down tilt to move across the stage and dodge while she controls space. April's S tier because she has amazing strongs, she has up throw combos, and an S tier recovery in today's meta. Hit stun wise, here's how so far this works. I'll review the hit stun wise after the S tier is complete. Lucy Loud has amazing combos and dare spikes out of dash deck, like many characters in this game. However, the actual power in her is with her vampire mode. When she gets vampire mode, she gets about 12% each hit. So she quickly chains together 30% or more off one neutral one. She has solid recovery because she can teleport, not ghost, back to stage. Because of her fast ground speed, she has a good grab game. She also has S tier out of block with her jab and down tilt, and her light nair out of the air. She's one of the few characters that can actually juggle because she has a very good up air, even though it doesn't have hitstun. So she can juggle, she can combo lightly, and she has good recovery with her teleport. And excellent out of block game. Nigel combos to 90% easily on heavy characters, or 60 or 50% on lighter characters into flick KOs. Oblina can counter the tech chase meta and tech chase herself. She can also use her projectile like SpongeBob Bubble. Other than that, she's a pretty terrible character. That's why she's bottom of S here. Because the meta right now is very tech chase oriented, and outside of tech chase oriented, if you can't tech chase, it matters how well you do everything else. And she just gets obliterated by everyone that she cannot reliably win neutral against, or that is not over-reliant on tech chase meta, like Aang is. Okay, now reviewing the hitstun aspect of SS tier and S tier. SpongeBob has S tier hitstun, meaning he's the only complete character. Literally, he's the only completed character because hitstun was meant to be in every move in the game. Hitstun scaling, or knockback launch angles properties that enable the characters to combo off of it. For example, right now, PTM's uplight in the air hits them too far away to combo because the angle sends them upwards. However, if the angle sent them at a 45-degree angle, 0 here, so 45 degrees this way, he'd be able to up air into drift forwards into up air. So either they need to and will increase the hit stun on it, or change the knockback, the launch properties of the move. Aang has a lot of hits on air, so he successfully does well. His lack of ability to edgeguard doesn't matter because edgeguarding simply does not happen much in this game because there's not much hit stun. Otherwise, he'd drop out of SS. PTM's exploitable recovery, and this is a theme, having exploitable recovery doesn't matter much because if you have the power that overwhelms them, aka you have a way to KO at 0 or 30% like PTM and Ren and Stippy have, then you're fine, even though you have exploitable recovery, because edgeguarding doesn't happen much in this game, even though it does still matter. That's these two. Hitstun-wise, Korra has hitstun on most of her moves. She has the down air combos, she has throw, which everyone has hitstun on throws, into dash attack, into down strong. And she tech chases it out of jab. So she has most of her necessary hitstun in game already. She's not much of an edgeguarding character because she doesn't have a down air that hits horizontally and then downwards, so she has to really commit to edgeguard. Because her down spike only hits straight down, same with her down light. Or it doesn't go very far. Helga, she can't edgeguard that well either, because once again, it doesn't hit forwards and then downwards. Doesn't matter though, because her strong attacks are strong enough to actually KO, regardless of not having hitstun. And her somewhat exploitable recovery doesn't matter because edgeguarding doesn't happen that much. Same with Korra, somewhat exploitable. April S tier recovery easily, unless there was more hits. If there was more hits on, then she'd have to use the balloon more sparingly because she'd have to use it to recover more, and she'd have way less mix-ups. Lucy Loud, she has a very bad recovery. Doesn't matter though, because edgeguard doesn't happen that much. She does suffer from lack of ability to KO because she doesn't have hits on her strongs. No one really does. Her lack of ability to edgeguard because she has a very small ranged down light and a terrible down strong. Doesn't matter. Because she can do other things well. And you aren't in edgeguard position much in this game anyway. Once again. Same thing applies to Nigel. He doesn't have a spike. Except for down strong, which is very slow and unlikely to hit. He doesn't KO off of strong attacks anyway. That's why he's S tier. He KOs off flick and up air strong, as well as dash attack into flick. Oblina is simply dash attack down air chains. She has good strong attacks. However, she lacks the ability to edgeguard because she doesn't have a big down air light. That means she cannot reactively edgeguard well. Which is partly because why she's bottom of S tier and not higher. She's still S tier, however, because nobody really overpowers her with the ability to edgeguard below her or even above her, because it doesn't matter. Once again, because it doesn't happen often. Now, quickly going through the rest of the characters. Recovery-wise, this is all about edgeguarding and recovery, because strong attacks do not hit them far enough to edgeguard them. Danny Phantom has an explodable recovery, so does CatDog and Lincoln and Patrick, as well as Reptar, Leonardo, and Michelangelo. Some of the worst recoveries in the game. This is because you can actually react to the recoveries and then down light or down air strong against them. Unlike the characters above them who have more difficult to reactively punish recoveries. Excluding PTM, Ren and Sippy, and Lucy Loud. As well as Oblina. The key with edge guarding and recovery here is in tandem with their ability to KO. Danny Phantom has a pretty good downlight because it's very fast and covers a good amount of space. And he could use it to KO if they got knocked back far enough. However, if he tries to, he risks getting edge guarded because his teleport is so slow. Same applies with CatDog and his massive downlight that covers a lot of horizontal space as well, because he could get edge guarded in a reversal. Basically, A tier is actually edge guardable in the current patch. S tier is not. B tier simply has no KO confirms. They do have S tier recovery, however. Garfield arguably has A tier. Nah, he has S tier because his is super fast. You can delay, win, you up special, and they can never react punish. A tier, you can always react punish. Zim, only KO confirm is down tilt or down tilt reversal into up air strong. Gur, never KO confirms unless you preemptively jump up very early, right as you throw out the Gur, which means you have to jump forwards and then lose neutral as a risk, which is terrible as Zim because you lose one neutral and you take a 1/4 of your health bar, aka 1/4 the percentage needed to get edge guarded, because he's very light. Toph is a fundamentally flawed character with no aerial control in a platform fighter, meaning she will never be SS tier or S tier, because due to platforms, double jumps, and jumps, drift control in the air, as well as a variety of aerial attacks, meaning being in the air can be powerful, 50% or more of the game is in the air. Platform height, level, and above the ground level. That's a good review of the current meta and tier list. Now we're going to go over the future meta and tier list with in-game examples. Good job sticking around so far because this will get more interesting with in-game examples. First, we're going to take 1 to 2 minutes to go over the current tier list and then show the examples in-game while going over them. The overall theme of this tier list is KO confirms due to balance changes, ability to avoid getting into an edgeguard position, because hitstun increases mean more recoveries will be exploitable, especially if they're exploitable horizontally. An example of this is April. She'll have to use more of her up special in order to recover to the stage, so she'll lose a lot of mix-ups. Because she won't be able to up special anymore when she gets closer to the ledge. Korra is going to definitely get updated hitstun-wise in the next patch, so she can KO off of him more. Another theme is, and I'll write these down for you. I'm going to put down 3 themes. Not every character will get hitstun patch. Buffed. Change font. Mid tiers and low tiers only. This means they will also be completed characters, like SpongeBob. High and S tiers will not. High tier and above will not. 2 recoveries will matter more when they have less horizontal distance ability than previously. Than previous patches. Than the previous patch. To rephrase that, recoveries will matter more than the previous patch, especially if they have less horizontal distance ability. Distance traveling ability, so they can't horizontally go as much in their recovery, or they get exploited for doing so. Another theme is being a heavy character will get you punished. 3, as traditionally in platform fighters, being a heavy character will get you punished due to the weight and hitstun mechanics, creating combos. Without weight, combos would not exist in platform fighters, meaning there would be no differential in characters' ability to combo if everyone had the same weight. Everyone would be able to combo practically the same. Like in traditional fighters, where everyone can do a 30% combo on the other character in practically every fighting game, or more. Or more percent. This creates less diversity in the character cast, meaning you can't have these projectile-based characters who just poke at the character's opponent rather than do combos. And you don't have these combo-based characters who get in that one time and get the big combo, which is very interesting, and which is one reason why people like platform fighters and why platform fighters are more interesting, have bigger audience than traditional fighters, is because of the weight mechanic. The weights mechanic. There would be little differential. Okay, 1. Balance. To quickly review, Theme 1. Themes of the Shredder patch. 1. Balance. Not every character will get hitstun buffed. Mid-tiers and low tiers only. 2. Recoveries will matter more, especially if they have less horizontal distance traveling ability. Within the character. 3. As traditionally in weights mechanic included platform fighters, being a heavy character will get you punished due to weights and hitstun mechanics creating combos. These are the 3 themes of this patch. Now time to review it, and then show the in-game examples. I'm going to say one thing about each character, and then begin the in-game examples. Buffed to have KO confirms and amazing neutral, Zim. Buffed to KO off of Strong's light attacks, with incredibly good neutral, Helga. Reptar, unable to ever kill him. Because he actually has very good horizontal recovery, and is an extremely hard to punish recovery, especially since no one plays him. People are not used to edge guarding him. So he avoids edge guard positions because he's extremely heavy. And edge guarding will be more prevalent in the Shredder patch. I'm going to go ahead and name this so it's easier to understand. Shredder patch. And this is 125 to 225. 2022. Tier list. Korra, buffed hits strong attacks. Means she can KO with strong attacks. Buffed strong attacks, hitstun, CatDog. April will not get buffed. So I'm going to modify this. And put her at the bottom of A. Toph will get a rework and have buffs undoubtedly. SpongeBob will get nerfed. Sandy will get buffed. Patrick will stay the same. Or get buffed. Garfield will still be annoying. And he's light, so he won't get comboed. Danny, somewhat light, so he won't get comboed too much. And buffed. Aang, nerfed. Inability to edge guard. Explodable recovery, April. Not buffed. Leonardo, not buffed. Explodable recovery. Explodable recovery, Lincoln. not buffed, because he's considered high tier. Once again, only high tiers and S tiers, the S tiers and SS tiers from the previous patch in this tier list. SpongeBob, Aang, PTM, Ren and Stimpy, Korra. Not these two. Not Korra and Helga. Because they are not considered S tier or above by the majority of the community. The majority of the community put them in A tier or below. I have a different opinion. So I put them in actual S tier. However, they will get buffed. As you see, that's why they end up here. Top 4 characters. Michelangelo, Explodable Recovery. Already has hitstun. He does not actually have hitstun already. He just will not get buffed. Actually, he might get buffed. I'm going to keep him down there because his strongs are very bad. So, might get buffed. Explodable Recovery, very bad strongs. PTM, Devious Lick removed. Combo to shreds. Nigel, combo to shreds. Explodable Horizontal Recovery. Ren and Stimpy, Explodable AF Recovery. Comboable cause heavy. Oblina, Exploitable Recovery, not buffed because she's considered S tier by the majority of the community. Tech Chase removed. Down air, Tech Chase removed. Down air, Tech Chase removed. Or simply just one dash attack into Tech Chase staying, however the Tech Chase dash attack consistency is removed. And extremely Explodable Recovery. Not buffed because she's considered S tier. Now let's go over the in-game examples. To do that, I'll be going through training mode. I'll be pulling up the first character, Zim, and displaying why he will be broken after getting hitstun buffed, or launch property buffed. The theme of the next patches is hitstun and launch property buffs. One moment. Gotta unmap this. Go backwards into battle to training. Going to increase the audio. Going to increase it even more. One moment. Okay, this is good. Alright. Zim is the best character in the game, in the future patch. Right now, I'll display why he's not. And I'll do this for every character. So it'll only take a few minutes each, however this is going to be quite a long video. I'll summarize it in 1 to 2 minutes each character. Zim. Turn on hitboxes. Zim. Best snare in the game, neutral-wise. Wins neutral 9% of the time. Projectile. Wins neutral 75% of the time. or applies block pressure, puts him in block. These two combine together to win neutral a lot and put the opponent close to off stage, like so. However, because I'll show with strong there. One moment. Does Zim actually have hits on this move? No, he does not. Okay. So I'm going to turn him up to 70%. So he should be able to get guarded off of a strong attack at 70%. Nope, he gets out hit stun real quick. And I'll turn him into level 1 so we can see the recoveries. And there we go. Nope. See, no edge guard position at 70%. He'll do strong nair. Not from the corner of the stage. Whoops. Alright, strong nair. Edge guard. Extremely hard to edge guard him there. He almost double jumped the ledge. And he could have just air dashed. So even at 90%, still unable to edge guard off with strong attack. That's pretty bad. However, after hit stun patch, that will actually put him in an edge guardable position, and Zim has a pretty good down air. Very fast. And hits below him pretty far. So it's pretty disjointed. Two, three, four, five, six. Kind of horizontally good as well. 7. See how far it reaches and how disjointed it is? Pretty good. That, along with hit stun on that move, will definitely lead to KOs. Outside of that, however, he dies very early. Dies around 60%. He has no combos. This does not combo. So he cannot build percent even though he wins neutral 90% of the time if they go in the air with nair. And 75% of the time he should win neutral just by throwing out Gur and then nair spamming. So even if I win neutral 75% of the time, I get hit once, and then I'm in a disadvantaged position. Meaning, throwing Gur is more dangerous because I can get edge guarded, or just knocked off stage into KO. Also, my strong attacks are not good. They're too slow. This is not mathematically sound to ever hit in neutral, for how slow it is. Especially, in addition to that, there's a lot of landing lag. Like, this never hits the opponent. They simply react to my spacing and then dodge. They can always block after they see me jump, and get kind of close. I'll show an example here. I'll jump, then nair and pause. Let me knock him away. Whoops. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pause. Either way, it's just too slow and not enough space coverage. It's an overall theme with strong attacks in this game. Due to not having any combos, he gets down air light by random stiffy to KO'd instantly, grabbed into dash attack into KO'd instantly at 0%, devious licked at 0%, comboed by SpongeBob to quickly get 60%, comboed by Aang Nair to get 40%, which is almost a KO, so they just need to win neutral once or twice in order to KO him. And he has... it doesn't matter if he wins neutral most of the time. However, once hit stun increases, we'll turn his percent down to 0. Chains, like up tilts, outside of that, will combo together, and it's difficult to see he's out of hit stun with the boxes on. Turn back to 0. Other than this niche platform tactics. Okay, up tilt does indeed actually combo. So that's good. He has a functioning up tilt. Let's see how much his combos. They can always DI away, and the likelihood of Zim getting an up tilt off is pretty low. Because it just doesn't hit much. Especially above him. And it doesn't matter if they go upwards at higher percent anyway. Because you won't be able to juggle into up air strong. Gonna test this out right now. Yeah, that doesn't actually combo. He could have dealt jump out of it. That was at like 90% or 100%. And that means it wouldn't have hit either at lower percents, because he'd also be able to air jump, double jump out of it, or double jump air dash out of it. Every time. With increased hit stun, the up tilt would indeed combo up air strong, which would combo around 90 to 100% to KO. So that's one. Another way that would be able to KO. Right now he only has down tilt. And they can DI away. However, yeah, you can reverse down tilt, so it's a 50-50. The odds of them getting close enough to get hit by this is very low, though. Here's the main reason why. You can simply approach Zim and block, and then whip punish down tilt, and never get punished for blocking. Significantly. Because he has no combos off the grab that KO. His dash attack is pretty difficult to land out of the throw. The classic right now, the down throw or throw into dash attack down light strong, which will get nerfed out of the game anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is the future patch, not the current patch. And because you can always block against him right now in the current patch, even if he does a strong attack, which is once again mathematically unsound, compare that to that light and air, it's nothing. It's way too slow. It will never win neutral, maybe 1/10 out of the time, and it's not worth it. And if they block in this game, the meta right now, and it will be existent in the next patch, the Shredder patch, because it will take them some time to update it, and realize that in theory, even though it's not clear and obvious that it's broken, the pushback, even when not holding a direction, aka not power blocking, just doing a normal block, like so, soon he'll attack. Omega Wolf. Come on, SpongeBob. Come on, SpongeBob. Okay, level 2 time. Okay, it's because of the training mode pack. Alright, see, I barely go anywhere, and I'm not even holding a direction off of a strong attack. I don't go very far. Because, watch what happens. Here's what I can do. After he does a strong attack, I'll show the example. I'll just go ahead and show an example right now. After he hits me one more time. Whoops. Alright, I'm cornered. Now imagine someone does this. They run up, block against Zim. Right now, in the meta. Where strong attacks do not do anything. They run up, block, he does a down tilt, or any attack, even a strong attack, and then gets hit once. Like so. And then they really shield, and they just dash for center. Check it out. I'll do it frame by frame, so you can see. This is what will define the meta in neutral. And we'll do so for the next few patches. Very unfortunately. This. See how I barely went anywhere by blocking, and I didn't even hold a direction inwards? This is how fast you travel in 10 frames, or just 4 frames in dash. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say 5 is about the distance of a strong attack. Pushback. Not to mention you slide when you block. Now a light attack, that's merely 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. Strong attack might be 6 frames. Either way, in 7, 8, 9, 10, you've gathered more distance than the strong attack hits you backwards. Strong attacks take, on average, and I did the calculations. One moment. pulling up the average data of strong attacks in this game. This is the average strong attack frame data right here of every move in the game. 18.45 frames. I did this by adding up all of the strong attacks in the game via this spreadsheet, which includes Garfield, and then dividing it by how many strong attacks there are. I did it accurately. For example, here, Toph's strong attack, strong neutral on the ground, has 4 hitboxes. I only counted 1 hitbox. The frame 19 hitbox. Not the rest of them, because that would... If I counted and added up these as well, that would make the average not 18.5, it would make it around 19.5. Which would be inconsistent, it would be inaccurate, and more so Toph-based, because Toph would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 neutrals, instead of the average 7. So that would be inaccurate. And that applies with other characters with multi-hits, like Ren and Stimpy, who has many multi-hits. Like here with the strong down, 1 multi-hit and 2 multi-hit. If there's 2 multi-hits, what I did was I took the average of the 2. So here is 9.5. I added it by 9.5. Here's frame 13 and frame 21. I took the middle of that, frame 17. You could argue this is somewhat inaccurate just because of this one data point. However, there's about 20 characters. There's 140 moves in the game. So this, not counting in these 3, would only move it by about, like, 0.2 points. So it'd be, like, 0.2 points, more so, like, let's see, 3 out of, like, 140, 10, 20, 30, 40, 140th, so not 19.45. It would be around 0.3 because the numbers are so large. So this would be 18.75 if I added in Toph's extra attacks. So go ahead and just do that right now, because it's more so in the average here. The more accurate way to do this is to add in the average of these two, just add them up, because they're going to be averaged out anyway. And then apply it as 1 data point, because there's only 1 amount of downtime on here, like lag total frames. And it's 1 single move. Also just on 1 character. So this is an accurate representation, 18.75, of the average strong attack on an individual character. As you can see here, it's pretty accurate. 19 frames, 16 frames, 7 frames, 19 frames, 17, 13, 16. I did not include later hitboxes like this one, the landing hitbox. So I did not include landing hitboxes because that's not the main part of the attack. Nor is it the earliest frame of the attack. The point is to understand the earliest frame that a strong attack comes out. Frame 20s. Now onto the point. 18.75 frames to get a strong attack out. This means, and there's on average, I did not calculate the average amount of landing lag. There's on average about, let's see here, Where is the landing line? Right here. This one does not have the data. Sandy does not have the data. Nor does this one. Nor does this one. However, on average, it's about 12 to 18 frames of landing lag, which is a rough estimate. That means, however, it's definitely within that range. That means there's minimum 30 frames of commitment, and they make that up within 6 frames. Only 6 frames does it take on a non-power shield attack to regain the space that you lost simply by dashing. 30 entire frames of commitment for this. And we'll check it out. 2 examples in real time. This is meta defining. First, the startup of the strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 frames. 15, 16, 17. Whoops. One, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We'll just go ahead and assume I landed on frame 15. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 frames, 19 frames of landing lag. 14 plus 19 equals 33. And this isn't even calculating in the fact that the longer the aerial is out, so the strong was out for about 4 frames, the longer the aerial is out in this game, the less landing lag you have. It's about equivalent to each frame. So if I land on frame 2 of the aerial hitbox, then 1 frame is counted off of the landing lag. Frame 3, there's 2 frames counted off. 4, 3 frames counted off. Frame 5, 4 frames counted off of the landing lag. It is somewhat inconsistent, however. Either way, 19 plus 16, not 16, 14, equals 33. That's 33 frames of commitment. And now we'll do the example of the dash. Yes, you do have to let go of dash, however, dash lets you play reactively. Let go of shield in order to dash out of the block. Dash, however, lets you reactively block, so it's better overall than wave dash. It's safer, especially at strong pushback distance after a strong attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 frames. Now, let's take a look at, see how that's not worth it. And depending on dash speed, it may take some more frames. 7, 8. 8 frames of distance dashing in order to make up the pushback distance on strong attacks for 30 frames of commitment. For stronger ones, strong attacks, 10 frames of dash. Not to mention wave dash, carries, and there's momentum after the dash. Wave dash occurs how quickly? We're going to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about the same. 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 to 10 frames to make up for the lost space. So it's just mathematically not sound or worth it to do a strong attack. They can quite literally, in the time that it takes you to start up a strong attack, 14 frames, travel 11, 12, 13, 14, 18.75 frames is the average. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 frames right here. See all that distance? Before you get the attack in with the strong attack. This is about double the amount of distance that the 14 frame startup and the 33 frame total strong attack took to send him a strong attack block pushback distance away. That means you could double the amount within 18 frames, and that's around 16, which is half of 33, 16.5. Meaning, you could, in 33 frames, cover quadruple the amount of pushback that you get simply by wave dashing inwards. This makes wave dashing or dashing towards center stage overpowered. And block also overpowered because you can always block a strong attack, then use frame advantage, or just block to make sure you do not get hit by a strong attack, then move in while they're in landing lag, simply by wave dashing or dashing forwards, and get center stage that way. That's why trapping people in the corner is not consistent in this game, and fundamentals within controlling center stage is irrelevant. Lowering the skill ceiling of the game, because where you are on the stage position-wise does not matter, because center stage is weaker in this game than it should be game design-wise. In addition to that, juggling is virtually non-existent because of the lack of hitstun on up tilts and up airs. Meaning, where you are in the air does not matter much fundamentally center stage-wise either. Again, lowering the skill ceiling in this game, making it so everyone is a high-level or top-level player, due to the game lacking depth and skill, via rewarding center stage positioning. An incentive. A specific thing that must be done in order to win, rather than simply playing randomly, being anywhere on the stage randomly. That's fine, because you can always get to center immediately. Faster than they can keep you out. Quadruple the amount. Let's show how many frames, how far you travel within 33 frames of wave dashing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep in mind, I'm over here at the... See the yellow dot on the right of the battlefield platform? That's where I started. This was about frame 5 or 4. I'll know soon. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's frame 11. 11. That's frame 12. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Fuck. I was about right here. My bad. I'll go a little bit before that, just to simplify it. Be generous. 30, 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Now let's see where I ended up. Over here, which is right here. Let's see how much of the stage is. A bit after the platform, the edge of the platform, all the way from over here. That's roughly a third of the stage. So in this time, it takes to do this slow AF strong attack, pardon the language. You can travel a third of the stage. And then you can simply block again and rinse and repeat. You can also do this by dashing, but it's not quite as much distance. You cover about 1/4 of the stage in 33 frames by dashing. Gonna check right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And jumping so I can see where I am. And drifting inwards. To stop momentum. You actually go as far, if not farther, by dashing. My bad, so it's also 1/3 of the stage. That's why that's meta defining. And why there's a lack of skill ceiling in this game. Positional and just advantage, disadvantage wise. So it's more of a sandbox game where you can do whatever you want. Also, in addition, again, edge guarding simply does not really exist because of the lack of hitstun. Meaning, where you are on the stage doesn't matter, because you can always recover without an edge guard position. Check it out, you can double jump, air dash, or you can delay, up special early, delay is double jump, delay is air dash, drift downwards, double jump, then up special, drift downwards, air dash up, then double jump, then up special, all within many frames. Notice how I air dash up, then immediately up special. I'll do it to snap the ledge. Whoops, I delayed it there. Now up special immediately after. I mean air dash, and then up special immediately after. Right there. And snap the ledge with it. Or like that, delay it. Many different ways to recover. Because you always end up here, out of hitstun, and then you can go ahead and recover. I'll show another example of where you end up out of hitstun with SpongeBob. And see, he can always double jump air dash. 70%. What about 80%? There, I think he died away. 80%. Do it F smash this time. Yep, he can always easily 94%. He probably could air dash there. No, he could not. Either way, pretty close to it, and it has lots of recovery mix-ups. Okay, so now that... So that is another way why this game is more of a sandbox video game rather than a skill sailing specific way to play the game in order to win. AKA, you must skillfully learn specific skills in order to win via controlling center stage, trapping the opponent the advantage in disadvantage by using your own advantage through juggling, and witness the low amount of hitstun so you cannot combo chain or juggle out of up air light. Nope. Nope. Tilt combo. Can I up air link? Real quick. I can. However, that's basically all it does. And it might be because hitbox is R on. Can decrease his percent, so he's very low. Zim's up air is pretty small. It's pretty difficult to get. It's ambiguous whether or not it actually links. Definitely not with its lower attack. And after the second one, he goes too far in order to chain. Because I have to do a rising one and then go through hip landing light. I don't believe this even chains anyway. Anyway, the point is, it doesn't lead to a juggling position at higher percents. Say 50%. Whoops. It doesn't lead to one because the strong attacks are too slow to hit. So eventually you have to hit them with nair, or they simply go to the edge and then drift towards the edge. Zim's up air light is rather good, even though it still lacks some hitstun. So he's got that going for him. It's also just pretty small, so it's unlikely to hit. Like, it doesn't cover straight up. So you can just go on top of Zim. Anyway. An overall theme is the lack of up air and up strong juggling. So again, sandbox, as well as edge guarding sandbox, because there's a lack of edge guarding. So even more, so this is a sandbox aim both in juggling and in non-center stage, and in edge guarding. Once Zim, back to Zim, now that we went over the overall themes of this game, and the issues with the meta, what might change, what will be meta-defining, the lack of hitstun, the lack of skill via fundamental stage control, and the future balance changes. Here we go with the specific balance changes. Zim will get a buff on his hitstun on his Gur. Right now we see Gur. This does not combo into strong unless you read it very hard. Come on, SpongeBob. Okay, here we go. You have to get very close, and then jump, and then strong. Let's try that from a distance. From the edge of the platform. It'll react when it gets closer. Because you want to be far away as Zim so you can abuse your narrow range. Your strongs, even though they're bad. And the ability to throw out Gur, so you can safely throw out Gur at this range when it explodes. Nair would have barely missed there. We'll do it again. That's pretty good reaction as well. And this is really just closer than you should be. Throw this out. He lands before I could get the hit. Yeah, it's very difficult to hit. I keep doing the wrong move. Okay. There was very close and I reckon very early. At higher percents, KO confirmed percents, say 90. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that never hits. See, so he lacks KO confirms. Even if I'm up close. I have to like dash, overextend by dashing like this in order to get this off. Because his hitstun will be increased, he'll be able to follow up with these strong attacks and KO at 90% and below, around 80 and up, without overextending. In addition to that, he'll be able to use his jab, which is rather good, because it's disjointed and fast. Kind of slow for a jab, however. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Other characters have frame 5 jab, and also covers his body. And he leans forwards and then backwards, so it's very safe. Covers like half the platform. Reaches half the platform. One moment. Okay, so that's enough explanation of Zim. TLDR, he'll have KO confirms off Gur at 80% and above, with neutral all the time, rack of percent, and that'll be okay because he KOs at 80%. His recovery will stay S tier. You cannot react to that. Whoops. He'll actually be able to edge guard with increased hitstun on his strong attacks. His strong attacks may get buffed in the future. They won't get buffed in the next patch, or the next 2 patches. Hitbox and landing lag wise. He'll be able to control center stage, which will matter some, because center stage will matter more via the hitbox increase, the hitstun increase. And the launch angle properties increase, or change, for more rewarding hitboxes. He'll be able to do that more consistently. He'll be able to simply nair into increased hitstun, which wins neutral a lot. Imagine it with hitstun into edge guard. So he'll have an overwhelmingly good neutral, and he's unable to combo well. He cannot be comboed well. Watch, see how far he goes? It's pretty hard to follow that up. Or impossible. Yep, can't follow it up. So he has a winning neutral in a game where he's going to be difficult to hit with strong attacks especially. You'll never ever hit him with a strong attack, so it's somewhat not too good recovery, doesn't matter. because you'll never hit him with strong attacks, because strong attacks are too weak in this game. Light attacks is where it's all about, and he's too light to make use of comboing with light attacks. Now, next character. Next character is Helga. Now we will see why in the future patch, and we're going to focus on the future patch from now on, instead of reiterating why they currently are where they are. The key here to Helga and Zim is they will both be buffed. Pretty simple. And Helga is already S tier, in my opinion. This jab will lead to edgeguard. The recovery is solid. This is unreactable. You see how her up tilt is? Right, it sends at a different angle. That might get changed to make it easier to follow up with up tilt. Right now she has a comboable up tilt actually. Although it isn't the best angle. Could be slightly more vertical so that she can definitely follow up. Like that, it's pretty difficult to follow up on. Especially at higher percents. At around 40% and above, the hitstun scaling simply does not increase. It will increase in the next few patches. So, she can combo it into a strong attack. Right there, she could not. In the future patch, she will. Which means she can KO at low percents because her strong attacks are so strong. See that? It leads to it. It knocks him off pretty far, not too far from a KO. Now let's see how far the neutral strong attack sends. Not that far. However, if you mash while you press it, it sends it farther. Whoops. Yeah. Nearly KO'd at 80%. Now with hitstun, that might have just KO'd. It'll put them in an edge guarding position. And she has a good downlight. Fast, covers a lot, and can be chained. And horizontally, it covers somewhat okay. Not too well, though. She has an unbelievably good down tilt that makes her travel. Let's see how far she travels. About a fourth of the stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm almost toward the corner. About a fourth and a half. About 1 out of 5 or 4 between there. The stage comes out frame 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Comes out frame 6, and it's massively disjointed. Starts there, travels. So this is good for low profile and getting towards center stage. And center stage will begin to matter more because you can simply do this towards center and avoid getting edge guarded. Because the problem with the recovery is if she starts all the way there, she lands at a predictable place. Notice how she was all the way down there. Then again, she's close to the same spot, and she was unable to recover. However, because she has this projectile and her down tilt, she's going to win neutral a lot and never be in center stage. I mean, she will be in center stage. She'll reverse positions when she's in the corner by using her projectile. That's why she's S tier right now. She's always in an advantageous position. Either she has center and she's going to push you towards the edge and advantage state on you on this future patch with increased hitstun that KOs and edge guards. Edge guard positions them. Like that was without hitstun. Now imagine with hitstun. Very far. And very edge guardable. Or they simply do not make it back. You can sleeping shot reversal from the corner, get center stage this way, and she's fast, especially in the air. She's one of the few characters that have solid strongs because she has the attack boost on her neutral air that makes him go farther away, and she has a very strong up strong. Now take a look at her up air, see if it combos. Right now it does not. In the future patch, it will. See how that doesn't combo because it goes too far and there's not enough hits on? And it does. It does 8%. This will combo into up air strong. See how it does not combo? It will in the future patch and KO very early at like 60%. That's why she will be SS tier in the future. She's guaranteed to get buffed because she's considered mid and low tier. Next character is Reptar. I'm going to go ahead and time myself. Make sure I only spend a few minutes on each character. 2 to 3 minutes total. Ideally 2 minutes. So here's the deal with Reptar. He's so heavy, and with the hit stun increases, people get edge guarded more. He's going to get hit. He's going to end up dropping ledge, not going to edge guard position. Just like he currently does go into ledge trap a lot, he's going to do the same in the future patch. So he won't really change from disadvantage state-wise to the next patch. Just like every character goes to ledge when they get hit by a strong attack or by a light attack. In the current patch, in the Shredder patch, he's going to land up over here because he's so heavy. He's literally going to get hit and drift towards down here with its weight mechanic. Yes, he's very comboable. However, it won't matter because he can always drift down here and he has a very good recovery. This is because it's extremely hard to punish this. He can mix up the recovery timing a lot, and he can sweet spot very down low. See how low he is before he sweet spots? Go ahead and do frame by frame. Double jump here. And up special. See how low his hitbox is? It's pretty low. Okay, I messed it up. My bad. It's because I was holding upwards. I believe. Nope. You can just go all the way down there. That's enough demonstration. The key, it's accurate. The key here is to understand the most accurate information. I may not be able to display it too well because I don't play these characters. Also, I'm using double keyboard, and I'm not too used to the controllers, to be honest. Anyway, he will have increased hit stun because he'll definitely get buffed, and he'll begin KOing and edge guarding at around 60%. He can edge guard very well with his downlight, so he hits them once at around 60%. Very far. He'll be even lower, and then edge guard. He has very good horizontal coverage at recovery because he goes very far with his recovery. All the way from down here, he can recover, and horizontally, all the way from over there. His recovery, so good, he will avoid getting edge guarded in the edge guard meta. Next character is Korra. Korra will undoubtedly get hit stun buffed as well, or launch angle buffed as well. Meaning she'll gain the ability to juggle and edge guard with strong attacks, setting up the edge guard. Other than dash attack. She's unbelievably fast. One of the fastest in the game. Especially for her frame data being very fast. She's already S tier. She's a secret S tier, meaning she'll become or stay as S tier. Arguably, she'll become the best character in the game. Let's turn this percent up to 50. And experiment with the up attacks. See how she already has hitstun on this deck? At least through tech chase almost. Now, it's going to get buffed so that she'll have even more hitstun. So it'll guaranteed tech chase or off the stage combo. As set knockback. Yeah, it's definitely going to get an increase. Yeah. So then she'll be able to tech chase with a dash attack by making a read. She already has these down light combos. She's already very good with all of her kit that I haven't even talked about yet. Her current kit. She's so fast in the air that she'll be able to recover from all the way over here, double jump, and then up special, and recover. So she'll survive in the edge guarding meta. Because of her fast aerial drift. Similar to Cloud in Smash 4, who has amazing aerial drift, and because of that he has a solid recovery. Without his aerial drift he wouldn't be able to get center stage as well, nor Korra, or survive as well. Similar as well to Brawlhalla, amazing drift speed, so it's very difficult to get edge guarding in that game as well. Just like in this game as Korra. So now 50%. That'll send farther away, and then she can edge guard with her down strong, which is buffed already. And we can see how big it is. How fast it is. It's actually not as big as I thought. Whoops, accidentally narrowed. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, actually that's incorrect. My bad. Korra is not going to be able to edge guard with her strong dare. She currently cannot. This might get buffed. Check out her up air. This will combo into up air smash. Right now it does not. Should be able to successfully juggle with her amazing speed and stay in advantage as well as use her jab to keep advantage. That's a very good move. Dashboard with jab. So it's difficult to open her up. She keeps away very good because she controls neutral very well. And she has dive kick, which is plus, I believe, 7 on block. That also boosts her recovery as well. So she'll survive very well in the edge guard meta. This move already has a lot of hitstun. Some of her moves already have a lot of hitstun scaling. That's why she's secretly top tier. If that always combos into at least that, it's incredibly fast. She can play neutral just by jumping in the down air lighting. And later on, it's going to combo into a strong attack. It already does. Into that. Now, if the DI away, the hitstun will be long enough. that they can go ahead and combo it with the dash attack or a strong nair. And this move, also fast. She can play control very well because of her fast moves, once again. This will lead to ledge trapping position, where she can pressure dash attack into down strong. Which connects 70% of the cast to a KO at 20% or less. Because she has such an excellent jab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how she lunges forward, then she recoils backwards. She begins here, all the way over here with her upper body. Her low profile leg is sticking out, yeah. That's okay though, because it's low profile. All the way over here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Around 22 frames of flag. And it leads to tech chase. Basically, she has a SpongeBob jab. Arguably better. Except she will not get nerfed, she will get buffed. She can also do the tech chase meta due to this. However, that's going to get nerfed in the next patch. She'll be fine though, because she has all these other tools. That's Korra. Up next on tier list is CatDog. CatDog is already a rather good character. Solid. However, he's going to get buffed undoubtedly because he's considered mid-tier. Most people, the community puts him as mid-tier. And because he's at the top of mid-tier, like right here, even by me, he's going to become a monster. Because he just needs a few buffs to turn it into S tier or SS tier. In this case, a S tier. Here's what will happen with CatDog. It's pretty simple. This is what will happen. With one of the only solid strong attacks, strong neutral airs. We'll check how many frames it is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2 frames. 3 frames slower than the average strong attack, which is 19 frames. And it's incredible. Lasts for about 14 frames. So he's just going to do this. And it's going to be in hit some for longer. And then here we go. Downer time. Or they aren't able to recover at all. Frame 6 down air. Light that covers the sound space and KOs. Also, he's low profile, so he dodges under a lot of aerial attacks. Very difficult to hit him with the light neutral air. These strong attacks, this is an okay strong attack, will actually lead to an edge guard position or KO. Because right now it does not have hits on ceiling. Or knock them into ledge trap position. Every time. Starting at 0%. Let's see how far he goes right now. From center stage. Yeah, it's a ledge trap position 100%. For sure at 0%. Making him able to ledge trap instantly from 0%, which is extremely valuable. It's like Marth from Melee being able to F-smash and then tech chase or ledge trap at 0%. One of the reasons he's a good character. A lot of good characters can do things at 0%, because that's where the opponent and you always start. at least 3 times a game there at that percent. Other percents get skipped, like 20% due to combos. So if you're centralized around a certain percent that's not 0, you're not too good of a character, usually. So that's what, and as far as edge guarding goes, yes, he gets edge guarded, however he has amazing horizontal recovery. And with hitstun means mostly horizontal recovery. This is because, watch as SpongeBob falls. I'll pause it so you can see. Notice how he's in hitstun right now, and then he's barely falling at all. So imagine this has 10 more frames of hitstun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how the height difference, he barely went from up there to down there? Because he's falling slowly. So as long as you have a good horizontal recovery, you'll be fine. Because you're going to go more horizontally than you will vertically. Because if he was in more hitstun, he would have continued to fall, continue to go horizontally, and still only fall this way vertically. This is because even without the hitstun in effect, there is vertical weight, gravity occurring, that leads him to fall this far down in 10 frames after the apex of the hitstun. However, during hitstun, horizontal movement is still in effect. However, it's not during non-hitstun. See how SpongeBob stopped traveling horizontally? Mostly after he left hitstun. It's because he drifts inwards, or he simply stops the momentum by gravity pulling him downwards instead of towards the right. During hitstun, he would continue to move horizontally at full speed. Hitstun speed. It would not decrease much over time during the hitstun phase, as we saw simply by hitting him. So vertical recoveries won't be that valuable as much as horizontal recovery in the future patch. This nerfs SpongeBob somewhat because it has a more vertical recovery than a horizontal recovery. So it'll actually be edge guardable. Like this. Well, it's not level, not the right level yet, my bad. F smash. You'll be able to predict where he goes horizontally. This is also why SpongeBob gets nerfed. One more time. And once more. And again. See how he's going to be predictable where he recovers after this one? Not after that one. It's going to take quite a while. We'll raise this percent to show. 80%. Not yet. My bad. Well, lol. Okay, still not living. See how the vertical recovery is not really needed? He always recovers horizontally. That'll be extra valuable next patch. He's got pretty good drift speed. It's just that his horizontal coverage on his up social, is not as good as his upwards recovery because he can get hit from the side. That's why he usually recovers low. This means you'll be able to drop down like this, and then hit him from the side. Like this. If that actually hit, it would be like that. Alright. So, the reason why CatDog will be very powerful, once again, he's currently top of mid tier, will be S tier, along with Korra, going to an S tier, is because he currently has a lot of combos that do a lot of percent and can KO from Cat's light up tilt. With up Cat. Confirmed. Like that. It'll have even more hit stun on up tilt, because up tilt currently does not have that much hit stun. CatDog is just fast, and the frame data on up tilt is just fast. Notice how he gets out of hit stun kind of quick. He'll fall more in the next patch, or patches after. Then this will be more often, or he'll do up dog, which will KO very early. Once again, his horizontal recovery is good. He has enough vertical recovery. He doesn't need it. He won't need it. He doesn't currently need it. He won't need it in the future. Either. Because attacks simply, by most of the cast, they won't have enough hit stun to send him all the way downwards. Because they're fixing the low tiers who do not have any hit stun, like SpongeBob has hit stun, to making them have proper hit stun. This is because there's such a lack of hit stun in this game that by adding only 10 frames of hit stun, which I predict, not 20 frames, they only go a little bit lower in height-wise from getting hit off the stage with a strong attack. So horizontal recovery is more important than vertical recovery in this game. That's just how the game is designed right now. And we'll take drastic changes in order to change it. An example is in Ultimate Little Max Jab. Smash Bros. Ultimate. Jab sends them downwards like that. Except they go in more hit lag, more hit stun. As an example, I'm not exactly sure about Lil Mac. This jab's an okay example. If it's sent him lower due to more hit stun, which he'll have, then he'll be edge guarded more and more so vertical. So vertical recovery will matter more at like 150%. Kind of like this, where he has to recover high. Recover low. By using vertical space. If he ends up all the way down here, for example. By a jab. Toph is at the top of A tier. This is because she's going to get buffed a lot. In addition to the rework, she's going to probably get completely good hit stun on every move. Meaning she'll be at the top of A tier. She won't be S tier or SS tier because she's a fundamentally flawed character. She is a ground-based fighter, like in Street Fighter, that is in a platform game, where 50% or more of the game is in the air, above ground level. So no matter how much she gets buffed, she simply will not be able to control the air, which means people can always get center stage through the air. So her hits matter less once they get center stage. Turn on the hitboxes, and they're going to keep that thing, I believe. Because she's a ground character, that's her game design. That's who she is in the anime. In the cartoon. She does things with ground. Is a earthbender. In order for them to make her have really good aerial control, they would have to alter the character's identity. And they're not going to do that, especially since they must keep things canon. According to the developers. So she must be a ground, earth-based character. That's why her aerial control is so weak. She does, however, have second best speed in the game, and aerial drift in the game. Number 1 is PTM, she is number 2. She is very fast already, and she has the base mechanics of second best speed in the game and aerial drift, as well as one of the smallest characters in the game, if not the smallest. I believe she is number 1 shortest. Lol, look how small she is. So she has the base fundamentals, very fast, small, of a traditionally good in platform fighters, at least in Smash Brothers, character. And typically in traditional fighters as well, because it's more difficult to combo them, the bigger, the smaller they are. And it's harder to hit them in neutral. All she needs is some buffs. And when she gets them, you have a very fast speed demon that's very small, that hits very hard, and KOs very early. And controls stage very well, and never gets stuck in the corner, because she can simply do this. And she's in center. And along with the issue of this still existing, blocking and then moving towards center stage, being faster than the ability to push them backwards, I'll go ahead and block a strong attack with power block. By the way, the main attack that you'll be blocking in neutral is strong nairs, because strong up airs and strong down airs are unlikely to hit you on the ground because you're not very far horizontally. That means since there's not much space horizontally as a character, because they cover more space vertically than they do horizontally. Not especially Toph, either way. And the space that you're occupying is on the ground, down here, not up here. So vertical attacks like down air strong and up air strong should not be used when they're grounded, of course. And this is the main way to get center stage, by dashing forwards or wave dashing in. That's 2 different ways that are very good. It has the most effective movement for center stage, more so than air, because you can jump towards air, or you can jump air dash towards center. And those are rather similar, whereas wave dash is faster because it can be done out of block, and dash you can always react, especially with block itself, like that. See how I didn't go anywhere even though I blocked it, power blocked it? Let's see how far I go. Almost nowhere. Nowhere, 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 nowhere. Now go ahead and do a strong attack, Aang. Come on. We'll do one eventually. Okay, there we go. There's a power block. The yellow shield is the power shielding, or known as power blocking. They gotta move around to make him do a strong attack. It's level 9. Might do one now. Not to mention there's parry in this game, which is a 6-frame window, which covers about the same thing as block itself. About the same coverage, because by the time you react by a parry, you can just punish with a down tilt. And strong attacks are simply too slow in this game to punish with, even if you parry. Especially on light attacks, because those are lagless comparatively to strongs. And everyone uses light attacks in the meta, not strong attacks in neutral. So the reward for parrying is low compared to just power blocking. See how I barely went anywhere from those strong attacks? And the down air strong is unlikely to hit. That means I can always hold forwards horizontally and power block the neutral strong. Even the ground is strong. Not to mention jab. That means I go basically nowhere. Now I'm gonna hit one more time and then wave dash in. We'll see what happens. From this easy to do, 80% of the time you get hit by a neutral strong movement. And here we go. Already way past center. Now imagine if he was doing a strong attack. Come on. See if we'll do a strong attack. Doubt it. Something with the AI. Whoops. That one I was holding away, actually. Whoops. Anyway, we see the point. That is why Toph will be top of A tier. Top of A tier minimum. There's a typo on this that says DA. This is A tier. There we go. She may become S tier or SS tier if they add in aerial control. However, I believe that's unlikely due to her character design. SpongeBob is going to get nerfed, and he will not receive buffs, when by design he is a poor character. Here is why. In his show, created in... When was SpongeBob created? 1999? The technology just was not that good yet. His technology is karate. That's the finest technology they had back in the day as far as combat goes. Nor is he a combat-based character beyond karate. SpongeBob is a fundamentally flawed character design-wise character, as well as base mechanic-wise. Here's why. He's medium weight, meaning he can get comboed mediumly. He only knows karate. That means in order for them to make, like, juice him up so he has a bunch of power, they would have to alter his character's identity. They'd have to give him supersonic karate, or the ability to fly, the ability to teleport, of which they cannot do because it's non-canon. And 1990 technology, 1999 technology, basically year 2000 technology, leaves little to imagination. And they must keep him consistent throughout the TV series, that's why he can't do much more. Yes, he has imagination on his side, however, the imagination is pulling it, even then, a stretch, because all he does is, in the show, is say, imagination, and it's not even an attack, it's literally just a rainbow over his head. That's all. Notice how he's non-disjointed. That's because he knows karate. Year 2000 technology, combat-based, is nothing compared to 2022, 2010, and onwards technology. So they cannot juice him up anymore. The only reason he's the best character in the game right now is because the developers gave him the most time, and they said this via Discord. He's the only... This is paraphrasing. He's the only character that is complete, and for sure they said no character got more attention than SpongeBob. That's why he's fully fledged out and has the hitstun mechanic properly applied, especially hitstun scaling. Notice how far that's sent. Notice how there's hitstun scaling and she was in hitstun longer and went farther horizontally. Show one more example of hitstun. And even farther. So there's that. So there's virtually no way SpongeBob gets buffed, and he's just a weak character, simply put. He's just lucky, frankly. It's not because he's the main character in the series. Well, that is the reason why he got the most attention and he was completed first, whereas the other characters, every single other character in this game is not complete, except for SpongeBob. Pretty simple. Next is Sandy. Sandy is in the same boat as SpongeBob. Rated in around the year 2000. Her best technology is turning into a big squirrel monster. One moment. Sorry about the pause. Making sure everything's good. Okay. Once again, technology is limited. That means she also just knows karate. She has a lasso. That's it. It pulls. She must corner herself in order to properly get a KO, because the only way she can KO is by edge guarding. With lasso into down air light in the air. So she has to put herself in a losing position in the corner in order, when edge guarding will matter more, in order to do anything. One moment. She is, however, in the middle of the pack, A tier, rather than bottom tier where she was before. Because... bottom tier here. Because she will undoubtedly get buffed. And she has a very good recovery. She can recover from basically anywhere. And here, she can recover like this. That's unreactable. I was holding up so it did not snap the ledge. She can go down here. This is unreactable. We'll go ahead and count the frames of this important recovery. Up special now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Most downlights are about 7 frames in this game. So this is reactable at this point. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Okay, that is actually reactable. There is a way to make it so she just snaps to ledge rather than taking such a long time to get up there. I might just be wrong about that. Fairly sure there is a way. It's weird. Okay, I think you just hit the special button twice in a row and it makes you snap. Nope. Nope. Okay, never mind. She has an exploitable recovery. My bad. My bad. I'm going to update this and put her downwards. Down to the bottom of Vader, because she will undoubtedly get buffed. Just she has a bad recovery. In addition to that, she doesn't have much of a down air. Like, it just doesn't cover much. In a meta where edge guarding will matter. So she lacks that, and she doesn't have much disjoint because, again, she's a technology-restricted character. They would have to include her turning into a giant, muscly squirrel, like she does in the hibernation episodes, where SpongeBob is trapped in the dome with her. Or alter the character's identity, which they cannot do, because they'd have to change the origin of the character. They'd have to literally change the history of her of how she was when she was created in the year 2000. Which they're not going to do. See how her biggest technology is surfboard. Witness how poor her hitbox is on this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Frame 18, strong dash attack. Look how big it is. 2, 3, 4, and it barely goes anywhere. That's because it's just a surfboard. Not much else to say about it. Currently, she doesn't have any combos. This doesn't combo, and this will not combo in the future. What she will be able to do is ledge trap, using her lasso, and fast movement and attacks. So she can cover going upwards like this, up here, down the ledge, SpongeBob. Cover going upwards like that, then land, and pressure with down tilt. She has a very good down tilt actually. Not very good, it's solid. Because it goes out and then comes back in, so it recoils. So it distorts the hurtbox a lot, safely. AKA the hurtbox is only out when the hitbox is out. So this will be able to combo the DIN, or they change the launch properties, so this combos into Nair Strong. Then she can successfully a good character. I doubt they're going to change launch properties of angles though. Because I quote, Thaddeus Rep says in Discord, hitstun is what this game needs. Something along those lines. What he said. For those who don't know, Thaddeus Cruz, Rep, is the main balance game designer of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. He leads the balance changes in this game. So, to summarize this, because she has a poor ability to edge guard, 4 hitboxes due to limited technology, canonically, she is limited to being bottom of around mid-tier or below. She's that way now, and she will stay that way. Up next is Patrick. Patrick, same thing. Notice how they're all mid-tier. That's because they come from the same universe and are created in about the same time. Patrick literally just spins his body in a circle. That's all he does. That's his biggest technology. And uses an ice cream cone to attack. Someone could have predicted Patrick would be mid-tier or low-tier based on game design from the get-go. Same with the other SpongeBob characters. They simply do not have the technology to keep up with the likes of... Let's see who else is in this game. Element Benders. When was Avatar created? 2005. So that's 6 years more technology, and technology advances very fast. Like... The thing is, the audience doesn't expect them to be good in combat anyway, because they're a joke show, a humor show, comedy show. Of course they're going to be bad. They lack the technology, because they're so old. And they're not disappointing anyone by making them bad. Like, no one expects these characters to be good. No one watches SpongeBob and thinks, boy, I cannot wait to play SpongeBob in a fighting game and destroy people with him. No one thinks that. I'd love to play as SpongeBob in a fighting game, but I'd love to do karate. Some people do, actually. And that is why Battle for Bikini Bottom is exciting. Because he does know karate, and it's more so an adventure game. However, that's mostly just because they love SpongeBob, and it's not about him defeating other people individually. I'll go ahead and look up the lore of Battle for Bikini Bottom right now. One moment. Here's some footage of Battle for Bikini Bottom by IGN. The majority of Battle for Bikini Bottom you play not only as other characters, however, the majority of the time is spent going on adventures, not doing physical combat, so that's even less canon that they can go based off of. Here's Squidward defeating a bunch of robots with his clarinet. That's enough footage. So yeah. Uses a trophy to attack. They can only make the trophy so big. If they made it bigger, it wouldn't fit canon. This is practically what goes through the game designer's heads. How do we make this canon and yet good at the same time? Well, we can make it big, and they do make it grow bigger during the animation. We can see how big the hitbox is. I think they make it bigger. They do not, however, the hitbox gets pretty big. They would have to make the trophy get bigger, like expand and then unexpand during the animation. That's what they'd have to do. And you want to minimize that as much as possible because it breaks like the laws of physics. Here he spins in a circle, and what are they supposed to do? He already spins incredibly fast and for quite a while. Do they make laser beams come out of his arms? No, they can't. He's from the year 2000. Sorry, Patrick. Omega Wolf. Alright, so, yeah. And he has an explodable recovery. His downlight is very weak in the air. It barely has any hitbox. And is not disjointed. And has low base hitstun. Even if it'll be increased in the future patch. Also, he's considered to be high tier by about half the community. So he's not likely to get much buffs either. This is where he currently is. And... one moment. This is where he will be in the future. He has a good... well, he has an explosive recovery. The thing is, he can recover from everywhere. It goes very far. And he can do it horizontally. Diagonally, rather. Like so. And it has a solid hitbox. Because it is somewhat disjointed. Go ahead and pause it, frame by frame. Somewhat disjointed. He sticks his arm out, which is pretty solid. The key here is that it's out for such a long time and he travels fast. Unlike other characters that are below him that have too slow recovery, like Danny, Leonardo, Raphael, not Raphael, Michelangelo, PTM, Nigel just takes a while to set up his recovery. So that's why he'll be right here. Garfield is next. And Garfield, once again, you can definitely predict this one based on when he was created. Here we go. 1988 is when he was created. He might end up lower because they're very canonically restricted about Garfield, since he was created in 1988 for newspaper comics. That's why I didn't put him higher, because it's practically impossible for them to make him overpowered. The overall theme that you see here is the flipping of the low tiers, the mid tiers, and the high tiers. The high tiers become low tiers or worse, the mid tiers become high tiers or better. Let's see exactly what happens here. Primarily, you see the top 6 get replaced. SpongeBob drops down, Aang drops down, PTM, Ren and Stimpy, April, Lucy, Nigel, they all drop down to a lower tier. Get replaced by Zim, Reptar, CatDog, Toph. Patrick, Garfield, Danny. So there's several swaps. It's not an overall theme, however, it's a decent theme. Somewhat of a theme. So on to the next character, pulling up Garfield. Go ahead and do double Garfield. So because of his limited design, there's not that much technology in 1988. All he can do is burp and stretch, which are two of his strong attacks, and eat lasagna. Like, you can't expect Garfield to be overpowered. Like, look how small this hitbox is, or how slow it is. Barely goes anywhere and it's super slow. And here he stretches. This barely goes anywhere horizontally. It does vertically, however it's slow. And if it covered more horizontally, it would be mathematically sound, however it's not. Mathematically sound means, mathematically, it has roughly a 7% chance of hitting the opponent whenever they're high up in the air, because it doesn't cover much horizontally and it's slow. In addition to that, it's so slow that if you throw it out, they can simply do this. Drift, down, center, before you can act out of it. Because, check it out. Lag. Trying to grab their air dash down, center. You can move faster than he could keep them out mathematically with strong attacks. That applies to all of his moves. 7% is a rough estimate. You can generally tell based off this. Okay. Not to mention the, like, 17 frame startup. Check it out. See how much horizontal space that covers? Now I'm going to drift with it as well. 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't cover that much space. Let's see what happens when you drift with it, actually. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Because of the slowdown on strongs, it barely has any horizontal coverage. See how much space I covered? Now, how much did it cover in drifting? That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10. 10 in that amount of time. 10 strong Garfield coverage, space-wise, in all that drifting time. Which is about the same time it takes to throw out the strong up air and land with it. Which is about 35 frames. So it's just not mathematically sound. So it's about 10% chance of hitting. So it's just never worth it. Also, his other moves are too mathematically unsound, like I mentioned. His burp just is not big enough for the amount of frames it takes. Same with this is simply too slow and too laggy. This is also too slow, too laggy. This is too slow and too laggy. And too small. Either they need to increase the size or increase the speed of these attacks. That's his problem. He can never land a strong attack ever. He has some of the worst strong attacks in the game. Because they're so slow, you can always parry them or block them on reaction. Or move out of the way. Let's see how slow his strong dash. Strong neutral air is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 frames for this time of space is nothing. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can always outspace Garfield's strong attacks. Keep away at this distance, and you see them move forwards like that. You simply block. Because this is a short off boards, dash short off boards, strong air. Whoops. That's strong up there. Starting at the edge of this platform. See how much that covers to right here. That's not that bad, because Garfield's kind of fast. However, you can stay away at this distance, and move around the stage just to get center, and he'll never hit you with a strong attack. So despite its range, it's very unlikely to hit, even though I said he has no range earlier. And that you can keep out of range. Still somewhat true because it's such a high commitment that he'll get whip punish if he gets close with it. Either way, he's still going to be somewhat annoying to fight. And even if he gets buffed, these moves simply do not work. This isn't really disjointed, nor is this, nor is this. And it's too small. And it would ruin his canonality if they buffed him too much. Especially since he's a joke character not meant for combat. His identity would be warped if he became the best character in the game, which may not be acceptable to Nickelodeon. Just in a way. Not that they would not allow it, just they may not prefer it, frankly. Which is a concern that a game designer has to keep in mind. Up next is Danny Phantom. So in a meta of edge guarding, having a explodable recovery puts you at a lower spot on the tier list. Here is in the future meta tier list, dating here. 125 to 225, about 2 weeks from now. In the Shredder patch. He's roughly the same spot. This is because he's considered around high tier. So he's considered to be like right here. Which he practically is even by me. So he won't get buffed. If you're on the bottom of high tier or at high tier, you won't get buffed. Or even if like half the community considers you high tier. Because only 1/3, the bottom 1/3 of the cast will get buffed. The rest will not, because it's only one patch, they can only do so much in one patch. And even 2 patches. Danny is very simple as to why. It's this. Too slow, way too slow. You can reactively hit it. Pretty simple. You won't get much hit stun buffs. That's neutral air. It already stuns pretty far. Doesn't matter though, because it's a strong attack. It just is not very good. Mathematically unsound, although it's one of the better strong attacks. Because of the amount of space it covers. See what I mean? The amount of space matters a lot. Each frame matters. Each few pixels of space matters. Each unit matters. Because it's a competitive game, and they're all based around a base speed of the game, where they can all dash sort of fast, all short up air dodge fast, all control aerial drift rather fast, or the subgenre of platform fighters. So due to the speed, attacks are balanced around that base speed of the game. And control of the character in the game. That means, because people can move fast, quickly through their aerial drift, they can change their aerial drift rather fast. That means, if they made a move that turned, whenever you turned, like, facing this way, hits this way, and then I turn and face hits that way, then that character would be overpowered. Because they can go here, and then go there. Here, there. Here, there. Here, there. Here, there. Here, there. And cover so much juggling wise. And they keep the base speed in mind, so that such a move does not exist because it would be obviously overpowered. So they reduce, if they were to release such a move, they would make it laggy, have less of a hitbox, etc. Danny Phantom is mostly a performance test. That's why he's not bottom of the tier list. Performance test means that you can pressure your opponent with speed or spacing that's difficult for them to keep up with. These can be 2-frame windows, 3-frame windows, 1-frame windows of reaction timing or spacing that they must meet. aka 1, 2, 3 units of spacing that they must meet the requirements of to pass the test of this move. Not that move. This move. This move is quite fast. You can power shield it on a reaction sometimes. From there you can. However, if they begin around here, you cannot. Not to mention strong attacks. Let's see how slow this attack is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You have about 18 frames per react. So that's a 2-frame window. Visual reaction is 18 frames. Audio is about 16 frames. That means if you base audio reaction queue, then yeah, you can kind of pass this test pretty well by hearing the sound, then power shield, parrying. Otherwise, if you go based off visual, which is the main thing people go off of, because the audio is an advanced technique, not many people are even aware of the fast reaction time on audio. then he can spam this a lot, and you most of the time do not parry it. If you're 1 frame late, you get hit. If you do parry it, it's still difficult to punish. Because there's very little lag on it. Actually, there's a good amount of lag. Either way, it's difficult to get into the position to do that. To parry, you'd have to dash forward in the block. And that's kind of dangerous because you can get hit horizontally on frame 17, 16, 15, which is faster than visual reaction. Keep in mind, 18 is if you have a trained, like, if you tech chase all day, you have a trained reaction to the tech animations, like that. So you'd have to really know the matchup well. Practice, train specifically in training mode against standing Phantom to be good at the power shielding, the parrying of his ghost whale, I believe it's called. This ghost mode thing. This down strong. However, you can performance test up to a pretty high level, speed test, and win some turns based off of it. He will not in the future though, so in a future tier list, he'll be lower on the tier list. Other than that, he's got pretty good normals, pretty good jab, pretty good down tilt. His down air is really good, so he can edge guard with this. So he can effectively do this. You can hit them with the strong tech, or in a projectile, and then edge guard them with this. However, the thing is, if he misses, he gets reversed on and dies. Actually, one sec. He could get reversed on. Most of the time, he's actually safe to go out and edge guard, because by the time they reach ledge, like they go above, then he could teleport. By the time they reach the ledge, he is already in the invincible state of his teleport. What could happen though is you hit them off stage, and then you miss the edge guard, and then they grab ledge, then you die because they're invincible. Next patch will last 70 frames. Whether or not that's enough time to edge guard him by holding onto ledge, if they delay it, like air dash up, then yeah, that might be enough time to go ahead and do that. Otherwise not. So it's kind of a risky situation. Other than that, he suffers a fundamental issue with Strong's being too slow. His up air into up air Strong will not combo on 16-degree DI. He just doesn't have too much going for him. His projectile is not that strong because it doesn't have much hit stun on it. Shield stun, nor does it combo. And because of that, currently he will not get buffed because he's considered high tier. And so he won't rise through the tier list. And he'll just get exploited more. It's very simple. His recovery is just very bad. Now, next up is Aang. I'm going to speedrun the rest of this list to make the video shorter. Aang's Nair is going to get nerfed. Pretty simple. He's very light. His TV series was created in 2003, so he's got limited technology. He can essentially only use the power of weather, natural technology, in order to do combat. Though he is in a combat-based anime, which boosts him up to the level of around half a decade, so 2008 level technology, basically. Also, since he's a master of the elements of the weather. However, most combat-based anime characters or cartoon characters are masters of their combat style. Or close to it. Actually, I take back what I said about 2008. He stays stuck in 2003 technology because that's when the series was created. And yeah, most combat-based characters, 2008. It does give him a... Here's the thing. Combat-based cartoon and anime fighters get the buff. So, fundamentally, they do indeed get half a decade of increased technology, essentially, in effectiveness-wise. There is some theory crafting in this video, some things I do not understand yet, some things I figure out on the spot during this video. That's just how this video is, frankly. Alright, so he's pretty light. He lacks disjoint because of this. 2003 technology. 2008 effectiveness technology. Snare is going to stay disjointed. Not very disjointed here. Nor is it very fast. This move is slow as well as strong up smash. Not very good range. He struggles to KO outside of the current dash attack tech chase meta into dare chain. So he's going to drop down very hard once they nerf his Nair hitstun, which they will in the next patch, or the patch after that. Likely the Shredder patch, which is within 2 weeks of this video's release. And he will not get buffs because he's considered the second best character in the game. Now, April. This may be a surprise because she will not get nerfed because she's not considered top 2. However, she's going to suffer a lot in recovery due to the increased hit stun. She will get started farther out, meaning she'll have to use her blimp, some, like so. Here's how the mechanic works. Use it some, then you do an attack, then you can use it again, depending on how much you use. The more you use, the less you can use the rest of it. See how I ran out pretty fast? That's because I used some of it. So here's what will happen. Get her to 90%, or even 80%. Hit her with an attack. Or then just throw her off the stage. There we go, grab. Whoops. Whoops, daisies. Grab into throw. Now, she'd end up farther downwards than that. Or like this. She'd have to use some to get back. I'll show an example with my own character. She'll be all the way over here from the hit stun, and then use some. And then, see how she covered my recovery there? That's because I had to go for that, otherwise I wouldn't be able to make it back on stage. So you can cover options, make them drop down low, and then cover that option as well. So use some here, then I can only use that so much and I'm dead. I'll show an example from very far away. Have to use some here, and right here. It's way easier to cover these options than if she's over here. And then she can mix it up, and mix it up. And for example here, show another example. Mix up, mix up, mix up. From here, I'd have to use my double jump. Then I can only do that. This, then air dash upwards. So you can simply, after you make them use some of the blimp, or use their double jump, you can read this, go down there and attack them. Because they can no longer mix up with their double jump, nor their aerial drift, because if they go too far, like this, drifting, then drift backwards. I'll show it again. Drifting, then drift backwards. With no double jump there, there's no way I would have recovered, and I wasn't able to recover there either. Because I had to take time to travel horizontally. Like here. She could have just jumped down there, hit me while I have the blimp up, and I'd be dead. That's because I'd be left with only the blimp left, or blimp and air dash. And it's very easy to cover just the blimp from far away. Cover that high, then you cover low, and then you might hit her low, and she's dead. You hit her once and she's done for. Right now she's S tier because she can recover from here, because she doesn't get hit that far to begin with. Also, when you get hit, she loses all of the resources. So you only have to hit her once. See, I can't do it anymore because I got hit. So you just got to hit her once from, like, down here. And she's dead. And she's very light, so she gets knocked out pretty far, pretty easily. So at 60%, she may get hit by an attack or even thrown. I'll check right now. Thrown. Down thrown. And yeah, she's gonna get edge guarded. Even just from a down throw in the current patch, she kind of gets edge guarded. However, you can simply jab her next patch, and then edge guard. Pretty easy. She's not too bad, just because she can, like, do strong attacks. However, and she can edge guard kind of well, because of this. Hitbox is huge. However, all you have to do to defeat April, power shield, use strong attacks, and use movement to get center stage. Once you get center stage, you can more easily edge guard her and KO off of up air into up strong combos, which she will not have up air or up tilt combos because she's considered S tier. She will not get buffed once again. Only bottom third will get buffed. Watch this. See how it does not combo. There we go. Up tilt. Okay, that actually does combo. At that percent anyway. Our up air never combos. And up tilt doesn't combo into up strong either. She goes too far. And at lower percents, we'll see if it combos into up strong. I don't believe it does. It does on the ground. Not in the air though. So past at 45% upwards, it does not combo anymore. So she cannot KO off of it, which is huge. Of course, out of Predators stocks, it's all about taking stocks. So that's April. Sandy, we already went over. Leonardo's next. Leonardo will not get buffed. He's heavy, so he'll be comboed by the majority of the cast, the current top tiers, and the future top tiers, the 1/3 of the cast that get their up tilts and up airs buffed. They'll get juggled because of that as well. He will not be able to combo off of up tilt probably ever in this game's lifespan, nor combo off of up air. Not to mention his up air is broken because it doesn't cover the back of his body. So he won't be able to juggle as a character that's only functions if they can juggle and keep the opponent in advantage. See how it hits behind his head there? However, it swings, 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 no hitbox. So it's not a good juggling tool. Other than that, he's one-dimensional and neutral. Just play around his air and you win. His strong attacks are too slow, so even with some pushback, and it's not even a factor, they can just hold in. You're never going to get hit by this move in neutral if you're blocking. And it's special dangerous to do anyway, as Leonardo. So you can just do this, block, wave dash in, block, dash in, block, air dash in. Then you get center, and then you toss him off stage. Or hit him with jab. Or an air with... mostly jab. Or a strong attack. If you have a good strong attack. And then edge guard him. The biggest part is he's going to be comboed to shreds. People will be like SpongeBob with their up airs and up tilts. And once you get him to high percent, he gets off stage once you hit him, because he's high percent. Then you simply edge guard his extremely exploitable recovery. Because it's slow, and you can just cover it with a down air. On reaction. Every time. Yeah, it's just way too slow. He's meant to destroy scrubs. That's how his gameplay is designed. If you're too slow reaction time-wise to react to the strong neutral special or space around it, or strong airs, or strong grounds, that means you're a scrub. You can actually just parry every single strong attack he has and neutral special as well. His jab does not lead to tech chase. It does not lead to tech chase. I'll turn him into level 9. And lower the percent. It just barely doesn't by a few frames. Actually, it does. My bad. Higher percent, it does not. Either way, his problem is he can't tech chase in the meta right now. That's either way, the future meta is what matters. One moment. The key to understanding Leonar's weaknesses is his strong attacks are slow. His down tilt to combo off of. However, he can't get a KO. Cannot combo that into it. Strong attack in the air because it's just mathematically too slow to ever hit. It can only ever nair. And increased hitstun on nair won't matter because he won't get it increased. Nor will his jab. So he cannot juggle correctly. He can't even combo up tilt or up air chain. They have plenty of time to get out. So it's a terrible juggle game. Bad advantage state because this has no hitstun, his jab. So it does not lead to edgeguard position. Like that, they're out pretty quick. The DI in on jab. Maybe even DI. No DI. They get out. Maybe not Leonardo on tech chase. 80% of the cast though, they do not tech chase. They simply can do an attack before they land. I'll use SpongeBob as the other character from now on to show examples. So he's simply a dysfunctional character that has no true advantage state as a character that's supposed to use disjoints and stage control to poke at the opponent and win that way. And maintain stage control, because otherwise he loses it and gets edgeguarded. He also got nerfed. So simply by being dysfunctional in hitstun, he will be B tier. Lincoln is limited because he's a kid with silly antics in a TV show not about combat. First and foremost, that's the truth. Leonardo would be good, however, since he's considered S tier or A tier, S tier or SS tier, by the majority of the community, he will not get buffed. If he had his buffed up air and up tilt and jab, he would be S tier, because his amazing edgeguard ability, he just cannot get the opponent into an edgeguard position. Because his strongs will never work, nor his neutral special, against a skilled opponent. This tier list is based off of high level play with no mistakes made, which is pretty consistent in this game. It takes about 3 months to get to top level in this game. By playing a moderate amount, say like 6 hours a day. Now Lincoln Loud. And SpongeBob. SpongeBob is middleweight, that's why we use him as an example. The Loud House was created in 2016, which is fairly recently. However, it's a family-based broadcast, not a combat-based broadcast show. That's why all he does is use yo-yo, use VR headset, laser sword, water gun, and doesn't have much of recovery. It's because they're limited in what they can do. They had to keep it to his hobbies. It's not like he can have a jetpack that's cyber connected that can like travel at the speed of light. Way better than Sandy's. They could have if he was into jetpacks, because it's the year 2016 or 2020, and now it's 2022. However, they can't because he doesn't use a jetpack in his show. So he's kind of unlucky in that regard. Also, he's a boy, which I'll get into later, when Lucy Loud is brought up. Simply put, he doesn't use technology much. He uses yo-yo, which is pretty low tier technology, so there's not much to it. I could create it. You simply attach something with a... You simply take a string or a long thread of material, put it onto something that can be wrapped around. Well, okay, I cannot make a yo-yo, my bad. Anyways, it's pretty easy, cheap technology. A baseball bat, pretty old technology. A scooter, pretty old technology. It's not even a powered scooter. A rock? He literally has a rock. Sorry about me raging, I just find it funny to rage. He has a fucking... Sorry. I'm not gonna use curse words. He uses a rock. Literally just a rock. As his up air strong. It's just way too small. It usually doesn't combo off of up air. Light up air. He has rocket ship. As up air strong. Too bad it's a strong tech, it's just too slow. Again, it's not even a powered rocket. It just has some flames coming out of the bottom. They can't make it a powered rocket, where he flies upwards and hits at the same time, so that would make it OP. Because he's not a combat-based show, and nor is he a futuristic show. Which is also why Zim is #1 in the game on this patch. Because he is a futuristic character, even though he's created in the 2000s. Game design, that's why. Lincoln is weak. Gameplay-wise, recovery is exploitable. Really exploitable. So yeah. In an edgeguard meta, he's... where it's really an edgeguard standardized meta, where it's just a standard thing, it's not overpowered. He just becomes standardly weaker, like in other platform fighters. And this doesn't hit them that far, so they won't get edgeguarded. He cannot safely go for edgeguard because he gets reversed on. Dash check's pretty weak. Then with strong dash check's extremely weak. Again, the technology limitation. He's considered high tier, so he's not going to get buffed. The end. Now, Michelangelo. Michelangelo is pretty simple. He was nerfed to shreds. Keep in mind, Leonardo and Michelangelo were S tier when the game first came out, even though Leonardo was still just a scrub killer, and is actually mid tier, 14th best in the game from the very start, as long as you actually theorize about top level play instead of just results, which is what the game designers should go based off of, because right now they go based off of tournament results to balance, which is a poor way to balance an esport. This is because a month later, or even a few weeks later, the character's tier will change. Their spot on the tier list will change. Leonardo is an excellent example of this. He was SS tier at start, results-wise, then fell off to bottom of high tier a few months later. It only took a few months. About 2 months, and then, for example, Thunder's Rain fell off significantly hard. Same with UnicornProGamer, me. As well as the other Leonardo players dropping him. I have also dropped him. I play Zim now, predicting the future patch. I'm playing in the future. And also I play Helga. Okay, so with that understood, Michelangelo, he got nerfed, even though his Nair was supposed to have a bunch of hits on because he's a combat-based show. And When was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles created? They were created in the 1990s. However, this exists. They constantly update the characters to match new technology. In this show, Shredder time travels between parallel universes and can teleport as Cyber Shredder, so they could canonically use this. I'll show some footage. Thank you, Slender Tentacle, for the video.
Let's kick some cyber shell.
He shoots lasers out of his arms. He can teleport, as we can see. I'll go into Shredder later. I'll go ahead and talk about him right now. Shredder on this tier list would be S tier. It's because he's in a combat-based cartoon. He'd be top of S tier. The best character in the game. That's because he's in a combat-based cartoon with futuristic technology, and he consistently canonically 1v4s the Turtles, who on release of this game were both SS tier. Also, he would be the first villain, and they need to make the villain overpowered because he's likely to be the arcade mode boss. So he needs to be a tough challenge for everyone to overcome. So canonically, that's why he'd be the best character in the game. And I'm going to play him when he comes out. I'm probably going to avoid playing him in tournaments. Maybe not, since there are other games coming out. Actually, yeah, I'll play in tournaments because there are other games coming out. I was originally planning to not partake in tournaments to avoid him getting nerfed. Anyway. Michelangelo simply doesn't have much beyond his Nair. He doesn't combo, he doesn't juggle with his up air. They can double jump air dodge out before he can do anything. He doesn't send them anywhere. He has a tough time KOing. And has an explodable recovery. Once again, if they kept him the way he was intended, with overpowered nairs, he'd be one of the best in the game. However, they just had to nerf him. His strong attacks are terrible. The only thing stopping him... One moment. The deal with his strong attacks is they're so slow, and right now strong attacks don't matter anyway, outside of April's, which is very fast. That's why hers actually matters. He'd be even worse. Just because he won't be able to effectively deal with power blocks, power shielding, holding in on block, or even just blocking, because you can always just parry it, or jump out of the way, out of all of his strong attacks. And it doesn't send far away to justify how slow it is. In a standardized edgeguard meta, he'd get edgeguarded a lot. Also, for this character, they did not make use of technology. Nor do the turtles have that much technology, they simply use weapons. Which is outdated technology for 2022. So overall, they're weaker than they could be. They'd have to give Michelangelo 4... What are those? Nunchucks? 4 pairs of nunchucks in order to be even better. Which would require, like, some sort of cyborg upgrade. For him to have multiple arms. You see, 1993 is when TMT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was created. 1987, actually. So they're pretty limited, and if they get nerfed, or the meta doesn't favor them, they drop from SS tier to lower tier. Or they're simply designed to, in the future, be lower tier or mid tier, rather than stay S tier, like Leonardo.
Training.
Next up, Powdered Toast Man. Also, Michelangelo will get combo to shreds because of his weight.
Battered Toast Man.
Can I pull up that notepad real quick? Okay, PTM. Devious Click when removed, he loses a lot of his power. His strongs are simply too slow to do anything. You can always react, now space them or block them. And then hold in, and you win every time. It's not worth the risk reward for him to throw them out.
3, 2, 1.
Recovers will matter more, so he'll get exploited more for his recovery. He's not going to get buffed because he's considered S tier. That means his dysfunctional up air will not combo into anything. Right now this combos into up light. However, at higher percents we'll find out combos. It barely combos into up air. Now it doesn't combo at 70%, they go too far. Either way, at lower percents it does not combo into up air strong, the lick. Because there's just not enough hits on. The launch angle for down tilt sends it too far away to get the strong lick or a strong attack. So he has no kill confirms. Dash attacks are simply too slow. Got a great projectile, however. He's going to get combo to shreds due to his weight mechanic. So yeah, he will not be buffed. He's got exploitable recovery, which will matter more. And his weight will matter more in combos. These characters will be able to combo him. Zim, Helga, Reptar, like up air into up air. Korra can already combo him. CatDog can already, he will be able to do more as well. Toph, SpongeBob already can. SpongeBob, Patrick kind of can. Garfield can combo with up tilt and up air light. I predict Garfield will not get buffed. So yeah. Danny, Aang, April will not be able to combo him. Sandy will. So yeah. He's just a weak character that gets exploited due to his recovery once edge guarding gets standardized. And his weight. So juggling and comboing gets standardized as well. Every character gets more similar to SpongeBob, also known as more hitstun mechanic, making the characters more completed across the cast. Next up is Nigel.
Training.
Right now, Nigel is S tier.
Nigel Thornberry.
That means he will not get buffed.
Select Nigel Thornberry versus SpongeBob.
Recovery is poor once you get sent far away. I'll show an example. Right now, as always, you get sent about here, then you recover here. You can air dash to the ledge or double jump air dash basically every time in this game. Later, Shredder Patch is going to get all the way over here. He's going to have to use this, and then he's going to have to wail. All the way over here, this, wail. So you simply cover that space over here, you throw out an attack, then you come back to ledge, as SpongeBob for example. Perhaps you down light, then cover that space, and then simply ledge drop. Once you get sent out over here... Whoops. you can predict where he's going to go because he's going to have to do the fish swim. This. He's going to have to do that. He can only do it once. So you simply predict when he's going to do that. And you edgeguard him. Because he must travel horizontally in order to recover. He has good horizontal recovery, however it's predictable. You can go down there, react to the fish swim, and hit him. So jump down there with him, hit him, and he's dead. If he does not do the fish swim, here's what happens. Down here, this, if he goes over here, actually grabs the ledge. However, you can still get hit. And he doesn't have strong reversals or edge guarding. Just down light sends them up in the air, or barely sends them anywhere, which will not get buffed. His strongs are too slow to punish with, and they're too slow to use in neutral. You can react his jump and then power block, or parry, or just react to the move itself. Especially with audio cue. He's going to get comboed to shreds by 90% of the cast via juggling. And other combos. Just comboed and juggling. So his amazing recovery, since he can go over here, do this, do that, is going to get nerfed. Once again, here, you can mix up the timing a lot. Delay. Do that. He'll only be able to delay so much. That's Nigel. Yes, he'll still have up air lights into flick. However, that's not going to be enough when every character can simply hit him once and do the same thing to him. Next is Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy's recovery is terrible. Worst recovery in the game. The only thing he has going for him is downlight, which will not get a hitstun buff because he's considered high tier. So he will not get buffed. Hit him once, he lands over here, then you easily edgeguard him, and that's game. And he also will get comboed again due to increased hitstun. SpongeBob's one of his worst matchups, and many matchups will turn worse for him. Oblina. Unfortunately, Oblina has been discovered to be a top tier or high tier by the community. So she was going to get buffed hitstun wise and launch knockback wise. However, she will not now because she's considered no longer mid or bottom tier. She's slow on the ground. The snare doesn't cover anything. The tech chase meta will get removed, and she will be left with nothing except strong attacks, mix-ups. AKA, you cannot react to her strong attack. That's all she has going for her. But it doesn't matter because she has no combos, so the strong attacks will not send anyone anywhere. And she won't be able to edgeguard either because she has a weak down air. And, as we can see here, it's very weak. And these strong attacks will not send them into an edgeguard position, just like they do not right now. She has a poor recovery, so she'll get edgeguarded for days. And she's very light, so hit her once, or throw her once, then she's in an edgeguard position. For example, hit them with an air, and then grab them, Oblina, and then down throw them, and edgeguard. Or, if you have a good strong attack, hit them with a strong attack, or dash attack into strong attack, and she's dead. Because she's going to get edgeguarded. this will get fixed so it's no longer invincible, so people can actually destroy it. The goop. She's going to get juggled. He's likely going to get comboed as well from 0% to 30. She's basically doomed. Also, canonically, she was made I believe, the earliest character to be made. Not the earliest. Likely as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. (1994). So she can't have much technology. All she does is throw trash and goop. They're limited to what they can do with her without altering her identity, which they can't really do. Like her projectiles, a banana peel, and a can, and an apple. That's it. That's literally it. She was only S tier at start because she had a broken, unintended downlight in the air. That's it. Like, her attacks are just her biting, so she can't be disjointed much, because they'd have to make her throw out a bunch of goop in every single attack, which would be technology advanced. She'd basically be a goop bender. So yeah, that's why she is weak in this patch. The Shredder patch. Lucy Loud. Lucy Loud will be the worst character in the game. This is because she has the worst light weight combined with worst recovery in the game ratio. That means for how light she is, her recovery is very poor. She simply gets hit once, and then she's edge guarded. So you hit her with the dash attack, or you hit her with the hit stun based light attack, and then you patch, then you hit them with a strong attack, strong neutral air. Like this, if she had hit stun, which she does not, and she will not, because she will not be buffed, because she's considered S tier by the community. And right now I agree with that. So, up air into strong. Do that to her, she ends up over there, and then she can, you just react to that. Once again, over here, you just react to it. You just wait, down light. Or wait. Jump up, down light. And she's dead. Pretty simple. She has to get vampire mode in order to have a solid recovery. So as long as you do not get bit, then it's GG for Lucy Loud. And it's pretty easy to dodge her bite. Because that's the only threat. Because she doesn't have combos. Up air light doesn't combo. You can always double jump out of it. Down tilt into down up strong, never actually combos. They can always either DI out of it, or double jump out of it. I believe they can always DI out of it, even if they can always double jump out of it, even at certain percents with down tilt. Even at the optimal percent. Like, there's no way that's gonna hit. There might be about 3% range window on Lucy Loud, where she can down tilt and then up air strong. That's it, however. She doesn't travel very quickly horizontally either. So yeah, worst character in the game by far. That is the summary of the Shredder patch. It's very fun to predict the future and make future patch tier list because it enables the player to win in the future. No other player is doing this. Playing Zim in order to become the best player later. No other player is completely switching off the current main to play a future top tier, understanding they will get nerfed. A few people are indeed predicting a Toph being overpowered So they are playing her. That's it, however. So if you make use of this information, you can stay 2 weeks ahead of the competition. Good luck. I'm wrapping up the video now. Once again, Shredder will be the best character in the game, especially since he has more advanced technology than the Ninja Turtles, and technology in a combat-based cartoon is overpowered. Because what happens is, their technology often gets amplified when they get turned into a fighting game because it gets more suited for combat, and nothing is more better for combat than technology. You do not bring a sword to a gunfight, for example. The more advanced technology, the better. Shredder uses dark magic that will power up his strongs, as seen by the data mine. So he may actually have viable strongs in this game. They're also removing the diagonal option coverage, covering both medium and down aerials and strongs. Where if you hold diagonally, it only covers downs. Does not cover neutral strongs anymore. With good strongs, he'll be able to effectively edgeguard because they'll get sent far out enough. And he'll get buffed with the hitstun patch and launch patch, because that will be their focus, and he was recently in development. He might have barely missed the window of getting updated with hitstun and launch properties, because he's coming out so quickly or on the same patch as the hitstun launch properties. Once again, if it's not the 1.25 or earlier patch, it's the next patch. Thank you for watching the video. Click the like button down below if you liked it. This was a very informative video. This was also my first video, not my first video ever created. So the future ones will be better. Subscribe. What I do is I play new games in a pro gamer-like way. That means grinding it minimum 12 hours each day, theory crafting, watching VODs, partaking in tournaments. The next game that I plan to take on is Zenith, the VR MMORPG. I will be grinding at that for a few months, likely. The future depends on when Shredder comes out, what I think about Zenith, etc. How good Shredder is. If Shredder's bad, I will drop Nickelodeon entirely, because there is a low skill cap in the game, meaning there's not much for me to improve on, so despite me grinding the most, I will not become the best player. It is my fault for not picking SpongeBob at the very beginning, I'll admit that. Props to those who picked a top 2 or top 3 character. Okay, ending the video now. Bye bye. Also watch my stream. I'll link it down below.